The world is still learning the names of the people killed in that crash, and we know one of the victims is from central Indiana. WRTV's Taj Simmons shows us how she is being remembered tonight.
I can't express what this is like.
More than 60 people died when a plane from Wichita, Kansas, and a Black Hawk helicopter collided over Washington, D.C. 26-year-old Asra Hussain, Hamaad Raza's daughter-in-law, was on that plane.
She was kind, academically brilliant, a wonderful cook, and my son's best friend. I'm a physician, and I have gone through so much death. I've healed. I've counseled. I've never felt this.
Hussain lived in D.C., but is from Carmel and graduated from Carmel High. She enrolled at IU Bloomington after high school and made an instant impression on her professor, former Fort Wayne Mayor Paul Helmke.
She was a very intense, very concerned, fun young woman who wanted to make a difference in the world.
Helmke is still struggling to come to terms with her death.
To lose someone as bright and as nice as Asra just is tough for me and tough for all of us.
Hussain's father-in-law says she flew between Wichita and Washington all the time for her work in healthcare policy.
This was just a routine trip back. She actually could have delayed her trip by a day, but she wanted to get back.
People in Wichita and the world are now mourning the tragic end of that flight. And the people who knew Asra Hussain are heartbroken that she's gone.
I don't know what God's plan is, but it is what it is. It's hard, but we're dealing with it.
Taj Simmons, WRTV.
And Helmke said that he will explore creating a scholarship in Asra Hussain's name at IU's O'Neill School for Public and Environmental Affairs. In total, 67 people are presumed dead in the mid-air disaster. ABC News reports some of the victims were just 2 years old. Others lost their lives alongside their parents. The Army identified 2 of its service members on board the helicopter, Staff Sergeant Ryan O'Hara of Georgia and Andrew Lloyd Evans of Maryland. Lindsey Fields, the president-elect of the National Association of Biology Teachers, was flying on the plane from Wichita, Kansas to Washington. Kia Duggins, a civil rights attorney set to become a professor at Howard University Law School in the fall, was also on the American Airlines flight.
Her conviction is what stood out the most to me. Seeing how passionate she was about the work that she was doing and for such a good cause.
Elizabeth Keys is being remembered as a strong, fearless woman who embraced life at full speed. She was killed on her 33rd birthday, returning home early from a business trip so she could go on a date with her longtime partner, David. And 14 members of the figure skating community, including athletes, coaches, and family members, returning from a training camp, also being mourned. Continued in-depth coverage of the investigation into the deadly mid-air collision is coming up on World News Tonight with David Muir. That's next at 6:30 here on WRTV.